Hey everybody. This week we're going to be reading the story called Caps for Sale. Have you ever read this book before? See this guy, he's up in the tree, sleeping. And who's behind the tree? Some sneaky monkeys. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. What is he selling? Do you see? First he had on his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and at the very top, red caps. Can you see all the different colors? I wonder how many hats he's holding on his head while he walks. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." He walked up and down the street selling his caps just like that. 50 cents a cap. One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody even wanted a red cap. He began to feel hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he, and he walked out of town slowly, so as not to upset his caps. Do you have that many caps at home? He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," thought he, and he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Now he's going to take a nap with caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. They were all there, so he went to sleep. That must be hard to sleep with caps on his head. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. What's different in this picture? He's waking up. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, still no caps. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw?
Monkeys.
Spoiler alert.
I know that it's monkey.
Oh, is Ariel correct?
I am
The
correct.
peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. See them all? They're in the tree, and they're all wearing different colored hats. "You monkeys, you," he said, shaking a finger at them. "You give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, "Tss, tss, tss." They were copying him. This made the peddler very angry, so he shook both hands at them and he said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fists back at him and said, "Tss, tss, tss, tss." Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, "Tss, tss, tss. Can you stomp your feet? Like when you're angry?" By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. He stamped both of his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, "Tss, tss, tss." At last, he became so angry that he pulled his own hat off of his head and he threw it to the ground and began to walk away. But then each monkey pulled off their own cap. And what do you think they're going to do? What do you think the monkeys will do? And all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down from the tree. They were copying him, throwing his hat down, so all the caps came back. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps at the very top. He's organizing them by color. And slowly, slowly he walked back to the town calling, "Caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." There he is. He's walking back to town. Hopefully he finds somebody to buy his caps. The end. I've always loved that story. Caps for sale. Went by the school and picked this up today. I'll be sending some play invitations out to you all by the end of the day. See you soon. Bye, friends.